Alright everybody, a little bit of an update here. Since yesterday I took this thing out for a spin and everything seems to be running fine. But I got in the shocks and these £18 valve springs, which I'm getting ready to put in. And what I wanted to talk about is these shocks that I got from Go Power Sports, and it raised it up 2 inches. Now these other shocks, these are the shocks that came with it, and I don't know if I can. You can see, bring it down, see how much higher they are. They're about 2 inches taller. So I took it out today after I put together. And by the way, when you change these shocks, and I've seen guys on the internet like Redbeard's Garage and Cars and Cameras, and I don't know if they were using the old from 2 years ago when they got these things. They must not have had the CVT transmission on them, because this one has the constant velocity transmission, you know, with the belt drive and everything. So when I put the shocks on today, the chain, you know, got loose. So when I watched them before, they had to cut the chain. Well, I didn't cut the chain. I drove this thing around the block. I probably put on about a mile on this after I did it. But you just go down here, you loosen that nut, and on both sides you loosen this nut, and I backed it out probably 1/4 of an inch or something back down, and then you tighten this down, and what it does is it pulls the chain tighter. And I didn't have to cut the chain or take the master link out and cut the chain. I just readjusted it. Okay, so I just wanted to say that I think it looks more motorcycle-ish. It doesn't look really as much like a mini bike than it is. You know, it's a lot, stands taller. When I took it out, the small shocks over there, when I took it out on this crappy road down the street here, is all full of potholes, and I was literally bottoming out, and it was uncomfortable, and it wasn't as safe, I thought, maybe. So when I took this out today and drove around 2 or 3 times on the same road, and I hit those bumps, I deliberately went over them, and it was like smooth as butter. And so I would say that getting these shocks, and these are $19 a piece at Go Power Sports, and it took 2 days to ship. And here I'm in East Texas, so if you're in Texas, and it takes about 2 days to get here, the shipping is really fast at this company. So, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. And I got the throttle's working pretty good. It's still bottoming. It's still like it's like the engine don't have enough power to it. So the stock engine, I don't think I'm going more than 22 miles an hour, because it takes off this with this transmission on here. It's got plenty of power, plenty of torque to get me going. I mean, in a real big hurry. But once it plateaus, it doesn't. There's no more speed out of it. And I've seen these guys doing speed tests and that. I watched them a couple times, and on Redbeard he was doing these stats, and they were saying, "Oh, he got 38 miles an hour or something like that." I'm like, bullshit. The guy, I'm over 200 pounds. I like 200 plus, 220 plus, and there's no way I'm going to get, 35 miles an hour out of it with the stock engine. So, but with the shocks on there, it made this ride a whole lot different. I can tell you that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stock muffler off, and I made on the Coleman, I made a my own header, so I'm going to make a custom header for it and a muffler, and I'm going to take the carburetor and drill out the jet myself, and maybe just take that plastic box off and just leave it off so I can get better airflow, and try that. But I think it's really restrictive, these mini bikes are, and I bought the springs because I'm thinking about taking the governor out. But Redbeard was saying on one of his that he had took the governor out, and he said it didn't even really make any difference. And they did the stage 1 and took the governor out, and he was going to do the stage 2 and all that. And I'm like, he wasn't getting any more speed out of it. So, but he was right about the gearing. I'm not really sure what the size gear that is. This looks like a 40 something, maybe 46 tooth, 42 tooth maybe, but you need a smaller gear in the back to get to bit higher speeds at the end. And if you get a 50 or a 60 tooth, it's just going to get you there quicker, but it's not going to get you any more speed out of this thing. And so I think that the muffler, getting less restricted muffler, is going to make it breathe better, and opening up the carburetor jet inside, and taking that cover, that plastic box cover off of that, is going to make it breathe a lot better. And you may not even need to buy the air filter, depends. We'll see. I'll find out when I take it out for a test drive. But I'm going to try not to take the motor off if I don't have to do all that. And I'm going to leave the governor alone. Maybe there's a bypass on it, but I'm still going to take, once I get all this stuff off, I'll be able to get to the valves and put the new springs in, maybe. Depends on how much room I have. So that's where I'm at right now. And I got LED lights I'm going to be putting on the headlight and a rear light, and a battery box maybe underneath the seat here. So, well, that's about it. Time is running out. Have a nice evening. Like, share, and subscribe.